What's happening, people? Welcome back to another episode of Newest Garage. Today we have a wheel horse mower. Was it a 416-8? Came in here for was having starting issues. We did a lot of troubleshooting. We found out it was the starter relay. So it's just I'll show you guys exactly what I did to get her up and running in terms of the install of the starter relay. So enjoy. Thanks again for joining. This is another episode of Newest Garage. Give thanks.
Alright guys, let's start the cleanup, get the place organized, make sure we have everything where we need it, make sure nothing is out of place, because you want to make sure that you know what is what, where all your tools are before you get the job started, where all the parts are before you get the job started. So, let's get to it. Alright, first order of business is to remove this starter I have, this relay I have here. This is a temporary relay I was using for testing purposes, just to verify if it was any other component or if it was actually the relay. But now we're going to install the manufacturer part number relay. And like a clown, I dropped the bolt. Hey guys, here's the part number for the solenoid that we're replacing. After troubleshooting, we came to the conclusion that this was the culprit of the starting issue. So go ahead and note that down, and if you need one for yourself, go pick one up. Give thanks. So after finding a replacement bolt, let us continue on with the install of the relay. Make sure all the connections and anchor points and grounds are installed. That was one issue I found with this particular relay, that or installation. There was no major grounds other than the chassis ground. So we installed some wires to verify we had ground. Now I'm installing the starter power wire. Everyone from a relay, make sure we torque that down. Now we're introducing the main wire for the power, just cleaning up the terminals, adding a little bit of dielectric on the terminal so they don't corrode as fast. Now it's time to study. What I have here is the wire diagram for the motor, and the main switch has all the electrical connections to it, and the client brought it to me with it not connected. So luckily he also had the manual, so I was able to ensure all the major connections were in the proper places and verify what was what and where everything was, making it better for me mentally to ensure that I had everything connected back in the same place. If you want, take a look at the diagram and you can see for yourself over there. And more study as trying to translate what I was looking at with what the switches were. It took a little more effort and brain power than I thought. But luckily, after a little while, things started to make sense. Now we're going to verify with an actual meter in continuity mode and put each wire where it should be so that we can have a successful install. While verifying wires, we found a missing wire. This wire. When the client brought it to me, we didn't know where it was, we didn't know where it went to. Luckily, with a little bit of reading, we found it right there. So put that back on. Now let me check the connector connection and ensure that that is not corroded and is in working order. And to my surprise, it's corroded. So if you can see in there, let me bring it closer to you, get it in view, closer, closer. There you can see it? You can see it? Alright. So moving forward now, we've got all our connections verified. Double checking our connections one more time. All good. Now let's put it back. Just like a glove, like it should be. Alright, so now we are verifying the grounds are connected, they're in place. Taking the time to throttle this guy out. Parking back down. Good and tight. Now I'm trimming off a damaged part of the fuel line. It got damaged when we were trying to replace the old fuel filter.
Alright, now we're going to put on our fuel filter. This part number, check it out. That's what it looks like. Let's get crack-a-lacking. I'll do it on camera because I know you guys are like that. Packing of the fuel filter. So we got some cone funnel fuel filter. See the direction of, is it? No, it's a fast hex. That's the flow direction. So the fuel is going to come in here. It's going to go to the engine. Alright. Thank you, fuel folks.
Alright, now it's time to actually install it into the fuel line. One thing that I discovered in this install is that when the new line was given to me, it was a different outer diameter. So the original line on the tank side fit with no issues, put the original clip in. But when it came now for the fuel line going to the engine, well, I had to use a couple of zip ties to get that to be secure. But all in all, everything went on in place. Fuel filter fit nice and tight. in the original fuel line, so it was the right size. And after the leak check, there was no issue, so everything worked out perfectly. Now we're just running the new fuel line around the engine, make sure that's fitted properly and it's not binding or touching anything it's not supposed to. A little excess, but we trimmed that off later on. Here's the final install going towards the fuel pump. Everything looks great. Now let's do a leak check and make sure we're actually getting fuel. And if you look closely, you can see the zip tie I use to secure the engine side fuel line.
Perfect. The likes of Chinese. And don't you get to mention black, no white, yeah. And they cannot unite. We should not be burning breeze.
So, I thought I had it all figured out. Now when I go to start it to actually run the engine, come to find a problem and I need to find a solution. So, as I'm troubleshooting, I'm hearing noises and I'm like, you know what? Let me check the voltage here again. Let me make sure my connections are good. Because it doesn't make sense why I'm having all these issues. So you know what? Let me check the oil. No oil. Alright. Let's just make sure there's some oil. Still no oil. And I was told by the client they checked the oil, but moving on.
Our battery is low. We need more cranking amps to turn this over.
So now it's time to bring in the reinforcement, which is my 48 volt electric mower, to be the heart of this battery. Time to check the voltage. Yeah, we're getting full 12, so we know the charger. Oops, dropped that. Now I'm testing the carb as I got it started, but I'm finding the engine to be a little bit non-responsive. After a little bit more studying, came to the conclusion that the idle screw is turned in just a little bit too much. So let's check that oil again. Make sure it's at level. Still no oil. So despite what you were told, pro tip of the day: always check your engine oil. I believe this engine took 2 quarters of oil, as I used what was left.
Not tonight. We're not on this. Perfect. Hey guys, thanks for joining me again. Hope you enjoyed that episode. This was newest garage. You guys saw the work went into it. We're running nice, idling better. Hopefully the client will enjoy it more than he did before. He said he's selling the bad boy, but if I was you, I'll kind of keep it. It's kind of a retrofit. Looks pretty nice. It runs well. Overall, it wasn't that difficult, but if you enjoyed what you saw, please subscribe. Hit that like button. Hit that bell. And I'll see what I can do to give you guys more interesting projects. Leave any comments or any project ideas you guys have in the comments below.